I'm Murdoch.
There was a cable channel for cartoons called Cartoon Network. This is a channel for stupid babies with their malformed, easily pushable button brains. They started with the old Hanna-Barbarian cartoons.
Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Then they started with the sick 90s and early 2000s original baby cartoons I grew up with. However, I don't think you realize how important this channel was.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
No other place besides stores you could find this oriental export as we have been blessed and cursed with today. Back in the day, I called this new phenomenon anime.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I don't know what they call it now. I hear the kids call it
slop.
Cartoon Network had this beautiful airing block early on to welcome these Japanese cartoons into the West. Toonami. Say welcome to the anime, Thundercats! Whoa! Wow. It was hosted by a Hanna-Barbera cartoon villain, Moltar. Moltar was a spin-off from a cartoon superhero turned late-night talk show host, Space Coast to Coast. However, if you look closely, there was a leak in the faucet. What's a Sailor Moon? Dragon Ball? It had only been a trickle before. But this had opened the floodgates. It was the dawn of a new millennium, and Moltar was getting old. We need something slick and new. A shiny, metallic, and chrome look that the 90s thought was futuristic. In comes T.O.M. my guy Tom. He was a little guy on his ship. He wanted to play some anime for you while sailing through space. I feel like I'm talking about the lore of the blue aliens from Eiffel 65's I'm Blue song. Really, go to Zorodle.com and read up on the primo lore, my brothers and sisters. The date is October 31st, 2001, and an encore on November 16th. Tom 2, now voiced by Steve Blue, who voices Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop.
I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
Hosts the Toonami Midnight Special. It was introduced as a night of animated music videos. In my childlike wonder, I saw them, these anime blue men, and this sick music, Daft Punk. What kind of name is Daft Punk?
Check out our new animated music videos on Toonami.com.
I've heard electronic music before at my local ice skating ring or my bowling alley like Darude Sandstorm or DJ Sammy's Heaven, but this is with anime.
Gorillaz?
That sounds pretty sick. I'm gonna have to go to my VHS player and record it overnight, since I'm like a child still. But that next morning, boy, I was psyched. It was like the heavens opened up to me and said, "What's up, Doc? Dig these sick beats."
Heard you guys loved the video show last summer, so here we go again. Time to drop some beats one more time.
Finally, someone let me
Coming up next, we're breaking off a full hour of animated music videos in a Midnight Run special edition. We've got all 4 Daft Punk videos, including their latest, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Plus all 3 Gorillaz videos, including Clint Eastwood, and some classic Toonami videos. Ain't nothing changed, only Toonami.
Guy Manuel de Homem Cristo and Thomas Bangalter, 2 childhood friends from Paris, formed a band called Darlin with a 3rd friend, then split up because it was shit. The 3rd member went off to make a band called Phoenix. I know it's fucking Phoenix, you fuck. The 2 others went off to make Daft Punk. It was named after a review of Darlin in some magazine. A daft punky thrash, he said. I bet that guy feels like a retard now.
Oh no!
Through the mid to late 90s, Daft Punk would make music with synthesizers and drum machines. They spent their time honing their skills while performing live across the Western world. They released their breakout album, Homework. In this era, they wore Halloween masks. Those silly boys. This second album, Daft Punk
really came into their own, commercially and artistically.
Took on their robot identities. The French duo, on September 9th of 1999 at 9:09 a.m., their sampler exploded. Once they had been revived and repaired, they were reborn as Robot. And with their new form, they set out to find their new selves in music, as they had forgotten much of the old stuff. Discovery was an experimental and new direction for Daft Punk because prior to this, they had mostly made house electronic music and expanded a bit into rock. Their music was meant to cross borders of rock and electronic, and that's why it spoke to me so much. I was a little rock kid listening to my Linkin Park and Papa Roach and whatever my 90s spiky-haired friends would find. I listened to the Tony Hawk soundtrack with my favorite CKY song. Of course, my boomer parents exposed me to all the old stuff like Beach Boys and Led Zeppelin, while my dad would sneak in a little Judas Priest and Sublime. It brought me into the electronic genre overnight. I was at my local bowling alley playing DDR in no time for Ay Ay Ay, My Little Butterfly.
High pressure.
A manga artist named had a dream. He said since he was a child he believed musicians were magicians who he saw as evokers of visions through music. He wished more than anything to be a part of a project that everyone across the world would see with music and animation combined as he did. When he first heard Daft Punk, he knew this was the project he would truly have fun with, as he would make a lot of what he heard into what we would call the anime movie Interstellar 5555. He took the entire Discovery album and adapted it into an hour-long anime music video, but he only finished it in 2003, and we're in 2001. So what we're watching are the first 4 parts which had just been finished. So what's it about, Dog Broxxi? What's this movie about? Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of my head, what the fuck? Well, Interstellar 5555 is a story about aliens having fun in their futuristic society, with a concert going on that all the culture enjoys. Old, young, and all between. One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright, don't stop the dancing. When I was a kid, I heard this song and I imagined promises of growing up and going to nightclubs, partying to music like this and making new memories without a worry. It's a song for any good occasion. As the years go on, we're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. And now we're on to the next song, Aerodynamic. These soldiers in black and red goggles come down and start kidnapping the band with some kind of stink-ass pink gas. The guitarist bolts it. The music is a do-do-do with some beats before it breaks out into a... As a kid, I specifically wanted to learn guitar because of this song. I didn't know how they made that sick noise, but I wanted to do it. Me and my 2 childhood friend pals went to go take guitar lessons. We had this old hippie teacher and asked us to bring in our own music, see if he could teach it to us. Of course, I brought in my old trusty Discovery CD and put it on that part. His face just went blank. I don't think hippies like to shred. Next song is my favorite, Digital Love. This is a very dreamy rock song with lyrics written by a big boy named DJ Sneak. Guy has a romantic heart with lyrics like these. Look at that guy. Aww. It starts with a guy on his guitar-shaped ship. Dude almost flies off his ship having too much fun, so decides to go inside and get a drink. He dreams extensively about the chick in the band with all their posters. He has his little fantasy about her as they drift around in his dreams before the alarm goes off and he's gotta go. After showing a few images of what happened back at home, he jets. He chases him through some kind of warp/wormhole in the shape of a diamond as the music just fucking shreds a mighty solo. The guitar ship is damaged while in the warp and he crashes to Earth. However, the goon's ship transforms into a jumbo jet to disguise itself while coming into the atmosphere and lands at a place where the band is brought into. Now's the time for that one song I hope you've totally heard of by that artist formerly known as Kanye West.
Kanye West, that's Dozo Euroscoop.
It's
harder, better, faster, drier.
It's that one song you could put all the lyrics on 2 hands and make a quirky online video that has 76 million views in the early times of YouTube. This video has all the band freshly kidnapped and ready to get processed. They have their memories formatted into human memories and get a sweet skin job and some new threads. Sick. Sick. Ow, my neck. Damn. This video has some pretty dope animation on the machinery. Just look at that. Just look at that. Yummers. Just look at that.
Yummers.
Just look at that. Yummers.
Yummers.
This was a huge hit. Not as big as One More Time, but pretty damn.
Yummers.
For 2 years, this was all the plot we got for whatever this was. It wasn't until I got into my 20s I found out this was a real hour-long movie. To this day, I still have this little cracked piece of shit with the little booklet still in it. As silly as it sounds, this is one of my most prized possessions to this day. Ever heard of Blur? They're a 90s Britpop band that swept over the charts in the UK. They had some success in the US. I believe they're mostly known here for the song 2, where the band goes, woohoo! Woohoo! You know that one. Enter Damon Albarn, a handsome fellow from East London. He's the lead singer of the band, with a very diverse taste in music. Blur was fine and all, but there was limitations that he felt with the band. Albarn was friends with a comic book artist named Jamie Hewlett, who was the creator of a series that would become a movie called Tank Girl.
Talented, isn't she?
Hi! Feeling a little inadequate?
She'll be fun to break.
I like pain.
I don't know, that movie kind of sucked actually. They both had recently broken up with their girlfriends and became roommates, or flatmates if you're a subhuman.
What were you guys doing sitting around and all of a sudden like, cartoon band, we're gonna make a cartoon band?
See, I'm the sort of person who watches TV and just screams at it all night long, and then I ended up watching TV with him and he's kind of the same, so we were watching MTV and we were just like, what's all this rubbish? And then what's all this rubbish manufactured crap? So we thought we could probably do it a little bit better, but slightly different.
People take themselves way too seriously in music, so I suppose Gorillaz for us is just a sort of, is an antidote to that.
Project began as Gorilla. Albert went on to start creating the music. Hewlett went on to work on making the concept characters and videos. They went hard. Damon went to the studio and started creating by himself before bringing in a few hip-hop artists and producers. Albarn went on to tour the album. Him and his band would play behind a screen with Hewlett's characters projected on it. The characters had extensive backgrounds and lore that really made the band feel fleshed out. They would later go on to be on MTV Cribs and have little cartoons on their website that Hewlett himself helmed.
Oh, hello America. I'm Murdoch, and we're Gorillaz. We'd like to thank you for this MTV award. It will take pride of place on my mantle, next to my upside-down rubber cross, and my signed copy of The Wicker Man. Hail Satan.
Tomorrow Comes Today is a good introduction to the Gorillaz. You see the whole band drifting through a cityscape and different concept arts to them. You got 2D as the lead vocals. Dumb as a Brick has that disorder where you got 8-ball eyes from injuries through an extensive backstory. Go look at the wiki, or if you don't, I insist you go back to looking at Zorato's website. Dude has a band too, you know. Then you got Murdoch, who is the leader and founder of the band, the greedy, vainglorious 60s and 70s rock star wannabe greenskin fellow. Russell, the drummer, made by Hewlett's love for hip-hop figures. Then the curveball, a little Japanese girl who got left at the Gorillaz door. Noodle, the guitarist and occasional back vocalist to 2D. The band makes up the Gorillaz identity, and with a cool flow and a melodica over hip-hop beats, with Damon Albarn singing as 2D, I'd say that's the basics of a Gorillaz song. Then we get 19 to 2000. This is one of the most timeless Gorillaz songs. Head starts bobbing, damn catchy tune. Music video has them driving in a dune buggy down a cartoon highway with antics and dangers abound as we bounce in and out of 2D and Noodle's parts. I find the lyrics to be quite strange when reading them now. The world is spinning too fast. I'm buying lead Nike shoes to keep myself tethered to the days I've tried to lose. My mama said to slow down, you must make your own shoes. Stop dancing to the music. of the Gorillaz in a happy mood. I love those lyrics, at least the first part, trying to keep yourself still so time won't pass you by, so you can stay in the moment, or at least try to tether yourself to moments you've given up. But I'm confused about the second part. His mom says to make his own shoes and stop dancing to gorilla music in a happy mood, or is his mom saying to walk in your own shoes? Wait, I got it. You gotta read it without all the pauses. My mama said to slow down, you must make your own shoes, stop dancing to the music, to the Gorillaz, in a happy mood.
Oh my god, wow.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
¿Cómo prevenirla? La doctora Novello habla de el SIDA.
There is a reason this song was the favorite. The star child that busted the doors down so Demon Days and Plastic Beach could run a train on the 2000s. Band plays and it's a gorilla zombie movie. I remember it very specifically from one frame of Murdoch getting his dick grabbed as a zombie climbs out. To child me, that was like some kind of forbidden South Park ass humor which I wasn't able to watch unless I was at my friend's house, and his mom was an alcoholic so she didn't give a fuck. I think the real champion is the melodica in the background. I mean, the whole song is dope and all, but it's just a rare instrument in such a big song. Damon was really into that instrument at the time. He had a lot of reggae influence and recorded even some of this album in Jamaica too. That beat, it sounds dangerous, like a gang of goblins are coming to knife you for fun.
It just came like that. That's it, that's the preset. It's the Rock One preset. But it gets even more.
Wholesale.
That's it.
Wholesale.
That's the whole
Wholesale.
song. Finally, someone let me out of my cage.
Talk about finding gold. And inside that gold is $1 billion. Like,
こんにちは、ランクレスです。超コケるってる私、ゴリラーズの大ファンです。ゴリラーズのデビューアルバムには、モローカムステイや92000、ロックダハウス、もちろんクリント・イーストウッドも入ってるよ。17曲ものスーパークールダークポップ、あなたを興奮させる。楽しんでね。バイバイ。
Both Daft Punk and Gorillaz worked through the last few years of the 90s and 2000, and both had an interesting aesthetic concept and a fresh sound. Both had fictional characters making music. They both happened to have their albums come out in March of 2001, 14 days apart. That's just incredible. Both are cripplingly European, but that's beside the point. The original run of Toonami would eventually end in 2008. They keep shutting it down and bringing it back up to this day, but why would I want to watch cable anymore? Anime was niche for the time, and now it's mainstream. As for the bands, I'm not a true fan of later Gorillaz music projects these days, but I only needed the first 2 albums anyways. Just doesn't hit me the same way now. That does not change the fact they were an influence beyond their albums on pop culture. However, Daft Punk went on to make the 2005 album Human After All, and that kicked ass. They went on to make the soundtrack for the Tron sequel, which I wasn't really a fan of, but it was serviceable. I didn't hate it. I did love the movie though. After 2 decades, they decided to go out on a great album in 2013. I downloaded that baby to my phone right away, and it's still there today. And I still accidentally hit a button in my sleep and wake up to Giorgio by Marodier doot-dooting in my ear. It said the Discovery album is about returning to childhood when everything movie-wise and musically are a discovery. I find it ironic because they said it's about growing up between 1975 and 1988. To me, these albums were a prism that refracted the era of Gen X's influence on my music taste as a millennial. It was our generation who would see and hear these bands and would eventually carry this torch into the future and influence our tastes and standards, just like they had been influenced before them. It's a snapshot that was very personal to me, which exemplifies those moments that are seminal to your cultural upbringing. This whole video was a love letter to that idea. Those special moments in your life when you want to buy lead Nike shoes and keep yourself tethered to the days that you've tried to lose. Bye.